event. Marvin Vettori coming in at minus 135 against Jared Cannonier, plus 135. The middleweight main event, 3-2 in their last 5 for both men. 29 years of age for Marvin Vettori, 39 years of age for Jared Cannonier. So he's getting up there. He's been around for a while. Obviously started his career at heavyweight, came down to light heavyweight, and now he's a shredded 185. And Marvin Vettori coming off the win to Roman Dolidze. Jared Cannonier coming off the win over Sean Strickland. Both of those had some bit of controversy as far as who won or who didn't. Close fights. I think both of them probably could have went either way. I did think the 30-27 with Marvin Vettori versus Dolidze was a little generous. I thought Dolidze won that first round for sure. But then I think the last 2 rounds in that fight was for Vettori. But nonetheless, a close fight. And he's getting, a step up here against Jared Cannonier, who has been tested against Israel Adesanya, as has Vettori twice. And both guys within the past 5 years have only lost to Israel Adesanya and Robert Whittaker. So 2 guys that are maybe the gatekeeper after Robert Whittaker. These 2 guys, you could make the comparisons. The gatekeeper to Robert Whittaker. Duplessis didn't have to go through him, though. But what are you thinking on this one?
Yeah, interesting. We were talking right before this that both of these guys' only losses in the last 5 years, Izzy and Robert Whittaker. I mean, that's not too bad. And they're both beating some decent competition. Vettori obviously beating Dolidze, and call it what you want, close fight. And other than that, Paulo Costa, Kevin Holland, Jack Hermanson, like all bigger named guys in the division. But I just wish Marvin Vettori had that finishing ability, because if he did, the guy could be unstoppable. I mean, he's damn near impossible to finish, to knock out. He's got a granite chin. He's got great volume and usually can fight, all 3 rounds. But man, it just like his punches just don't have a lot of sting on him. Like, he might hurt his opponents a little bit, but he lacks that big shot to really put guys out. And if he had it, man, I feel like he, against Roman Dolidze, it probably would have been, he probably could have finished Roman as Roman got tired there. And same could be said for a lot of his fights. Jared Cannonier, obviously the big power puncher, but it kind of evens itself out with, Vettori not being able to be put out. So for Cannonier, I hate that if he's not going to be able to get the knockout, I don't know if he has the volume to keep up a good pace against Vettori for all 3 rounds here. Like, if you're not going to finish Vettori, you better have a ton of volume and look better to the judges. And Vettori's, a master of just hitting you more times than you can get him. And you can't crack the chin. You're not gonna beat Vettori by sitting back and relying on those one big punches every now and then. So right now, I'm leaning Vettori. I think it is a good matchup. Both guys have fought at the top of the division for a while now. It's kind of a toss-up to me, but I just got to rely on the endurance and obviously the chin and the volume as well. So I think Vettori can edge this thing out.
It's crazy. I was looking through like what happened today in UFC history when I was doing my video today. And what was it, 3 years ago today, Marvin Vettori got a finish by submission. And that is only finish within the past 7 years. So I was like, dang, that's what a day. 2020, June 13th, Marvin Vettori submits Carl Roberson by rear naked choke in the first round. And that's his only finish in the last 7 years. So, yeah, the volume on the feet is there. It's just like the punching power, I guess, just isn't there. The dude is a brick wall, because you obviously can't knock him out. He's never been knocked out. Has he been knocked down? I don't think he's been knocked down either. But I'm looking at this one against Jared Cannonier. I'm like, 5 rounds. Vettori's got, cardio for days. He can go forever. He can take shots forever. I gotta lean his way because he's also the younger fighter too. Like, Jared Cannonier pushing 40 years old. At this point, he got his title shot against Izzy, and at this age, it's like, well, how many fights does he have left to get back to that title shot? And does anyone even want to see that fight again?
Yeah.
So at least for Vettori, there's something there to like work towards. Like, what's the objection for Cannonier? And I honestly think Vettori and Strickland are like kind of similar fighters in the way that they're going to stand in front of you and they're going to swing with you. They're not really going to try to take you down. Vettori will go there sometimes, but for the most part, I mean, he's pretty light on his feet, southpaw, and he's just going to try to outwork you on the feet. If he does go for the takedowns in this one, it could be a path to victory for him. I mean, he does average 1.77 per 15 minutes. Jared Cannonier, 64% takedown defense, and got taken down by Brunson 3 times. So there's another spot that Vettori could take it, but I just got to go with the younger fighter, and that's my guy because everyone says that I look like him. So I'm gonna go with Marvin Vettori against Jared Cannonier in this one. But I think it's probably pretty properly priced. But personally, I'm just gonna go with the younger fighter, more activity, and maybe a little bit more to fight for. So.
Yep. You talked about Marvin Vettori never being knocked down in the UFC, which is correct. But in 14 fights, he only has 1 knockdown offensively, and that's the Jack Hermanson. In a fight, to his credit, he landed 164 strikes, which is insane in a 3-round fight for those big boys up there. So, yeah, and it's another one of those things too. If you're looking at the props, like for No House Advantage or Prize Picks or something, how do you even go about taking Vettori's strikes over unders? Because some of these fights, man, against the Elidze, he lands 106. Against Robert Whitaker in 3 rounds, he lands 33. He lands 190 against Paulo Costa, which was a 5-round fight, but still, and on down the list. Then 58 against Izzy, 24 against Kevin Holland in a 5-round fight, but he had 11 takedowns. So it's like, and then 164 against Hermanson. So he's kind of tough to gauge. Like he's got a few, 2 different styles really: stand and trade with you, outpoint you, or fight guys like Kevin Holland and take you down 11 times and just make a boring ass fight and probably get the win on the judges' scorecards. So yeah, he's an interesting cat to watch.
He is, and I just find it so crazy that he's like that thick of a dude that he has 1 knockdown in his entire UFC career. Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy. But the guy must have an iron head. So
yeah,
we will see. I'll go with Vettori though.